Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is video 2. Yeah, checking out cartoon episode that have been banned. Guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the post notifications. Let's just get on with the video. Let's go.
Cartoon episodes. Epilepsy warning at the third one, so watch out for that. Number 10. South Park. Super Best Friends. Even though South Park is an animated show, the long-running series about 4 boys growing up in the small Colorado town of South Park is definitely not a show for children. The show does a great job of making fun of current topics in the news and pop culture. Along the way, creators Matt Stone and Trey Parker have offended many with their satirical jokes. But in a special 2-part episode of the show, which marked the 200th episode for the series, Parker and Stone went too far in the eyes of Comedy Central. This is because the episode featured Muhammad, the Muslim prophet, as a character. Along with that, other characters like Jesus and Buddha were shown too, and that made the religious community very angry, as you'd expect. This led to physical threats of a fatwa being issued to Parker and Stone from Muslim extremist groups.
Oh damn.
When the episode aired, Comedy Central censored it by blocking out Muhammad in every scene he was in and removing his dialogue. This episode has not re-aired since.
Before we move on,
But I guess that you can usually, like, for YouTube now, you could probably go and revisit that episode, but that is bad. Like, having a Muslim in it and doing all that stuff. Like, I haven't watched the episodes, I don't really know anything about. I haven't even watched, like, South Park. I know what it is, but, like, I've, like, never, like, watched.
Number 9. Tailspin. Flying Dupes. Tailspin is the infamous cartoon show that people still think should have lasted a lot longer. While the show only had 1 season under its belt, it did have a whopping 65 episodes. But it would be the final episode of the series that would garner controversy. The episode had it all. In it, Baloo is asked to deliver a package to the High Marshal of the fictional country Thembria. Unbeknownst to Baloo though, the package is actually a bomb, given by manufacturers who want to start a war. Yes, that is indeed a terrorist plot, mixed into a show about talking animals who have the credentials to pilot aircraft. For this reason, the episode would be banned from playing ever again on Disney channels, although it would play once in 1999 on Toon Disney, possibly by mistake. Number 8. Gargoyles. Deadly Force. Everyone knows that Disney is known for its fun, jolly, and bright-colored themes when it comes to cartoons, but Gargoyles was the only Disney show that maintained a darker tone throughout its series run. The show is about mythological warrior creatures who are statues during the day and fight crime at night. The originality never fails to amaze us. It was basically like Batman, except instead of being playboy billionaires during the day, the gargoyles were subjected to being castle decorations instead. So while scenes of violence weren't a native concept of the show, one episode featured a scene deemed too graphic to show unedited. This particular episode had one of the gargoyles, named Broadway, playing around with a gun that belonged to Elisa, the human detective in her apartment. The gun accidentally goes off, and to Broadway's shock and horror, he discovers the bullet hit Elisa and finds her lying in a pool of her own blood.
That's like bound for, like, because cartoons are like fun, happy, good for kids, but like when they have guns and violence, it's not really for kids, is it?
While the episode was meant to teach about gun safety, the episode would be pulled from the air because of the graphic nature of the scene.
It wasn't really gun safety, because if it was gun safety, then you would have it locked, the trigger locked.
It would later re-air, but Elisa's blood would be edited out. Number 7. Beavis and Butthead.
Oh no, this is amazing, absolutely love it.
Comedians. Beavis and Butthead is no stranger when it comes to banned episodes, as the show has pushed the limits a few times. So while the show could have had its own list dedicated to its banned episodes, the episode we shall focus on is the one that ended in tragedy. In the episode titled Comedians, Beavis and Butthead try their hand at being stand-up comedians. When they ultimately fail, Beavis ends up burning the comedy club down when he lights some newspapers on fire. A month later, a boy in Ohio set fire to his family's trailer home who was apparently inspired by the show.
No. That's why, like, that's bad, like, that's bad, like, when your parents, like, setting it on fire and inspired by this, I can't even pronounce it, sometimes I can.
Copy the stunt that Beavis pulled in the episode.
Aye.
This led to the tragic death of the boy's baby sister. Because of this, the episode was pulled from airing on MTV eventually, although the network did try showing an edited version first. This led to fan complaints and threats though, so MTV stopped showing it completely. Number 6. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Insane in the Membrane. The 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series adopted more from the comics than a lot of the other TMNT series. The Turtles' personalities were much closer to the source material, and the stories were much more serious and darker. As a result, the show took a much darker tone than the 1987 series, so much so that an episode never aired in the US. The episode in question was called Insane in the Membrane and was about Baxter Stockman. Throughout the series, Shredder had been slowly chopping off pieces of Stockman's body whenever he had failed him, already dark on its own, until he was just a brain in a jar. Cloning himself in a new body, Stockman plans to take his revenge, but his body starts deteriorating at an alarming rate. The graphic imagery of a decomposing body was too much for the Fox censors, and a change in staff caused the formerly approved episode to be banned from airing. Number 5.
Ooh.
Sailor Moon, Day of Destiny. If we start talking about the uncensored version of the show, that is going to take the remaining part of this video. The story of young girls turned into superheroes was an absolute phenomenon when it hit American TV, but the addition of English voices wasn't the only change made when bringing Sailor Moon from Japan. Sailor Moon was one of the many animes that was heavily edited for American audiences. One of the aspects that were cut from the American release of the show was the lesbian relationship between sailors Neptune and Uranus. In the American dubs, Neptune and Uranus were depicted as cousins, which is what made their longing gazes and tender moments seem so creepy. Due to this rewrite, episodes that featured intimate scenes between Neptune and Uranus...
Yeah, that's like with anime. I don't like anime because you could get the good anime, you could get the bad anime. I've never been an anime fan. I've never watched anime. I've seen clips on YouTube and that, but I've never watched.
were essentially banned from the American release.
Like, it's supposed to be cartoons, and the cartoons are fun, happy, like you said, but not have intimate relationships or something like that.
Any episodes that focused on their relationship were never shown in America, with the cousin angle being pushed as hard as possible since America deemed a gay relationship inappropriate for a children's show. Ironically, scenes where the two held hands and looked lovingly into each other's eyes ended up seeming way less appropriate than a gay relationship would have been. Number 4. Tiny Toon Adventures.
Oh,
Elephant
Tiny Toon.
Issues. While this segment of the Tiny Toon Adventures episode called Elephant Issues was intended to promote a stance against drinking, the producer's self-awareness of the evils of alcohol certainly missed its mark. After facing peer pressure to consume beer, Buster, Plucky, and Hampton quickly fall into a downward spiral as they arrive drunk at school, leer at women, and steal a cop car, and must face the consequences of driving under the influence. The graphic and careless behavior of characters designed to be watched by children was declared to be not only inappropriate, but irresponsible. Underage drinking is a no-no, people. Needless to say, this reckless PSA was banned from television for its alcohol content. Number 3.
Oh, that's just bad, isn't it? Because you never know, kids could go to school drunk because they just, oh yeah, look, in cartoons they're drinking beer. Kids can be like, oh, what's that, daddy? I have some. Never know.
Pokemon, Electric Soldier Porygon. Pokemon as a whole has had quite an impact on people around the world in terms of pop culture ever since the show was released. However, before the show crossed over into other countries, a controversial episode was released that impacted the health of many children in Japan. In the notorious episode titled Electric Soldier Porygon, Ash and his friends end up traveling into a Pokemon transfer device to fix it. While in cyberspace, Pikachu has to attack virtual missiles with his lightning attack, causing an explosion. This explosion causes a strobe-like effect where blue and red colors flash at a rapid pace on
no.
screen. This effect would cause almost 700 children in Japan to have some sort of medical
guys, if you do have epilepsy, then do not watch this part, because the part that's just been on is so bad, guys. If you have epilepsy, then that is bad.
Including seizures, dizziness, temporary blindness, etc. Pokemon as a series went off the air in Japan for 4 months following this incident, and the now infamous episode was not aired anywhere else in the world. And with that, it's now time for today's subscriber pick.
I don't want your subscriber pick.
A future video. Number 2.
Oh, SpongeBob.
This is a photoshopped image of the famous cartoon SpongeBob SquarePants. The image is not real, but we get the idea behind it. Everyone thinks that SpongeBob is a fun, family-rated cartoon, but the show has had its fair share in banned episodes list. The episode Gary Takes a Bath was banned in the United Kingdom and Australia due to the "don't drop the soap" gag involved in the
Oh
script,
no.
which was regarded as inappropriate for a
Oh
children's
yeah, because don't drop.
cartoon. Also, while SpongeBob is assaulting Gary's mind with subliminal messages, a picture of a strange cross-eyed girl with freckles and pigtails appears suddenly with a giggle that was deemed too frightening for younger viewers. Number 1. Ren and Stimpy, man's best
Like, why would you mention like don't drop the soap in like SpongeBob? That's just like bad, isn't it?
friend. First of all, this show is absolutely gross and should never have aired on any network. We don't hate too many things in life, but we do hate rats. Ren is a gross, psychotic Chihuahua dog, and Stimpy is a grosser rat. In the episode Man's Best Friend, both of the animals are purchased by an even more psychotic human who has anger issues. The man tries to teach Ren and Stimpy how to be pets the hard way, and toward the end of the episode, the man asks the pets to attack him. This is to help them become faithful attack animals. And even though Stimpy hesitates, even at getting molested by the man, Ren takes a bat and beats the man so much that he dies.
No.
Things like this don't play out well for the younger kids.
That won't be good for kids because seeing people die, it's bad, isn't it? And kids,
This episode was banned from.
they probably wouldn't know what it would be, would they? Anyway, guys, I hope you did. If you did, smash the big red subscribe button. And this has been top and banned cartoon episodes. I've been Lewis. I'm out. Peace.